Welcome everyone to another video, and today we're going to take a look at a team featuring two bug types that got buffed in the recent season, with Golisopod having access to the now improved Fury Cutter, and as well as Araquanid with the much improved Bug Bite. It will be accompanied with Cradily in the lead with Acid, Rock Tomb and Grass Knot. Of course, you can use Bullet Seed on Cradily as an alternative. But Acid just has a better matchup versus other grass types as well as fire types that you may see. And after using this team for a few sets, what I can conclude is that for this particular team, Golisopod is much better using Shadow Claw as a fast move, just to go against some of its counters or some of the Pokemons that will, in general, this team will have a hard time against. And Araquanid, I think it is recommended that it uses Water Pulse as a much harder hitting water move instead of Bug Buzz, which we are using today. And with that, let us get into the battles. We will have in the lead here in the first game the Dene versus our Cradily, and this is a much better matchup with Acid. As you can see here, Acid is chunking the Dene for a lot of damage, and we are going to shield the first one just in case they have something in the back that requires a very healthy Cradily, as in this instance is a Gligar. And we're going to let go of the Gligar's charge moves first of all, because it is not going to deal that much damage, even though it is the neutral stab Aerial is, which we can take it no problem at all. And we are going to swap into our much bulkier Araquanid to chip them down. And as you can see here, if we had Water Pulse, this would have been a much easier matchup, but we did not have that, and because of that they are able to swap back into their Dene. However, the good thing about it is that we are able to get a shield out of them in this mid game, so that we are back to parity in terms of shields, and they will have a Shadow Scizor in the back waiting for us. In which this instance, Shadow Claw would have been better with Golisopod. However, even with the Fury Cutter, it is still viable, because now we are able to almost farm them down, but we immediately swap into our Araquanid to take it out, just because we were afraid that they might throw their charge move against our Golisopod, because we will need to save it for this charge move here to take their Scizor out. Scizor also having access to a much improved Bullet Punch, and that was especially crucial because Golisopod is quite a glass cannon and deals a lot of damage. Now in the second game, we have a Talonflame in the lead with Acid as its fast move. It is a little bit less clunky against the fire types, and we will be able to outpace them to the charge moves, and we will let this one go versus them first. And this is where I think I made a mistake. I should have gone out to Araquanid instead of Swalot, because Swalot is a very bulky Pokemon, which means that it has quite a low attack, and Araquanid with those bubble beams will be decreasing its attack even further, and will basically neutralize any attempt of a comeback for them using Swalot. But you know, we live and we learn, and we are going to stay in against this Samurott because our Cradily is quite low, and hopefully we will be able to chunk it low enough where our Cradily is able to Acid it down. But we didn't need our Cradily in this instance, because Bug Bite now is able to beat them away, and we are going to immediately swap in our Cradily and toss out these charge moves in the hopes that we get the last shield. However, they did not throw their last shield to shield their Talonflame, but they will do it against this Swalot. And in this instance, because they're already buffed, our Araquanid will be able to take them out in this late game and just farm them all the way down with Bug Bite, because one Sludge will not be enough to take out Araquanid from this range, especially with a debuff earlier from Cradily. Now going into the third game, we will have a Carbink in the lead. This is exactly where we want to meet the Carbink. It is in the lead where Cradily is able to dish out the super effective Grass Knots and decrease their attacks with Rock Tomb. However, they catch the charge move onto the Chestnuts, which is fine because now we are able to swap into our Golisopod and catch their charge move on our Golisopod, and now we are going to try to get to Aquajet to deal some super effective damage against this Carbink, and we just managed to get it in the nick of time, which is what we need, because now we are able to toss out another attack straight away back to back against this Carbink and hopefully take him all the way low so that this Cradily can debuff whatever comes in next. And they elected to not shield the last Pokemon, and they will have a Superior in the back, which for us is fine because they will have a hard time against Araquanid. Araquanid with this debuff on the Superior will need at least 3 Frenzy Plants in order to take us out, so it is a shield well preserved and well spent on our Cradily before our Araquanid can farm it down. So going into the fourth game, we have a Shadow Kanto Marowak in the lead, and they were late on the swap and they swapped into a Cradily of their own, not knowing that bug type moves are still super effective against Cradily even though it has a rock subtyping on the Cradily. So we are going to elect to just let this one go because we feel like we can farm them all the way down with Acid having a higher damage output compared to Bullet Seed, and because of that we are going to farm them all the way down and have all that energy to toss out against this Tentacruel. And we could have maybe thrown it one move earlier because we had wasted a little bit of energy generation right there because we have already farmed all the way to 100 energy, but we are going to trust that our Golisopod is able to get the win for us here in the end game. And here they are going to let it go, and they are going to farm us down, but they elected to throw away their charge move because they feel because it was getting quite close there to another one for us, and they throw an Acid Spray against us to debuff our defense by 2 stages. But it is okay for us right now because Aquajet is going to be launching here against them to take their last shield, and we will be able to over farm them just a little bit so that we are able to get a head start on the energy to get to an Aquajet to take their Tentacruel out. So this is one of the matchups where I feel like Shadow Claw would have been better on the Golisopod, but this matchup turned out okay because Cradily was able to just chip it all the way down into red health for Golisopod to take it out. So in this last battle, we have a Shadow Victory Bell in the lead, a Pokemon that also got the buff with Acid, but this one is electing to run the Razor Leaf with that Shadow variant, boosting up the damage that it can throw. And we are going to come in with the Cradily against this Bastardon, and this is where Bullet Seed would have been a really good addition for us, but we are going to see where we can get the win in this matchup because now it is looking quite iffy. If it has any flying types, Araquanid will not have a good time at all, but let's see how it goes in this end game. They have a Kanto Marowak in the back, which is now good for us because as long as we shield the Rock Slide, we are able to win the game. So let me know what you think about the bug types of the Go Battle League this season, because bug types got a really big buff this season with Fury Cutter as well as Bug Bite. Unfortunately, because of the bug typing in general with all its weaknesses, it never had any play whatsoever up until now. So let me know what is your favorite bug type, and whether or not it can actually work in the Go Battle League for this season. And with that, as always, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.